Welcome back. Just outside of Graaff-Reinet is where we are broadcasting from today, and this has been a very eye-opening broadcast, I think, for the whole of South Africa or anyone that has tuned in. But the reality is this is the lived daily lives of so many people. Now, we've always got our reporters that are out and about in the area, and Lerato, you know her face very, very well, works here and in the Eastern Cape in general. I mean, Lerato, we're here visiting for the day. You work with these communities, you speak to them all the time. I'm hearing one story from my guests, but I want to get your story. When you go into some of the townships and you speak to them, I mean, what is it like there?
We've been here, Leanne, for the past 2 days, obviously focused on the impact of the drought in Graaff-Reinet. And I can just tell you that specifically in the township areas, there is a water crisis. I'm not going to try even sugarcoat it. We went to two townships called Seven Delan and Mandela Camp, and they had said that in the past month, municipality came in, drilled boreholes, but the water coming out of those boreholes, because it was not done properly perhaps, the water is not drinkable. The people in the community are sick, going to hospitals because the water coming out of a so-called solution is not working. The time Give the Givers did come to intervene and give them water is not sufficient. You're looking at a population Graaff-Reinet of over 37,000. So even if Give to the Givers does intervene, that's not enough, because they come with bottled water and they come with short-term solutions, because they give you bottled water and then a month they're gone again. So then how do those people survive from the time they came until the time they come again? So in between then, they are just trying to fight for survival, and there's nothing they can do.
And I mean, this is the reality, because it appears that, you know, they're trying to talk about the good things that are happening and everything, but this should never have been the situation in the first place. If you talk to the communities, how long have they been complaining about this for?
We spoke to a guy actually in Seven Delan, the township, and he says that as far as 4 years back, the last time he had running water from his tap was 4 years ago. So every single day, ever since then, he knows that from certain time to certain time, there's no water. He has to walk from Seven Delan to town, just 30 minutes, just to get one can of water. So that's not something that happened 5 months ago. It's not something that happened a year ago. This has been 4 years where the warning signs, the red flags have been there, but nothing has been done.
And it was only declared a disaster area
in 2019.
That doesn't make sense. Lerato, you spoke to a lot of the people living at the informal settlements you were talking to. This is what they've had to say. Take a listen to the voices of the people.
To you from a very hot Graaff-Reinet. We are broadcasting now from the CBD of Graaff-Reinet, which is also a huge economic driver, the business sector of Graaff-Reinet, also experiencing its own downfalls in terms of the water shortage. But we thought, let's just speak to some people here, some residents here in Graaff-Reinet, and find out from them how they feel about the water. Ma'am, you are a resident from Graaff-Reinet. How bad is the issue of water, especially here in the CBD?
Water is very, very bad. Like an incident the morning when we wake up, it's there's no water. There's babies. They don't even say to give messages out that there's no water. The babies don't have bottles. Like perhaps me, I have a 7-month-old baby. The whole day she's without washing herself and without water. So it's very, very, very bad.
And here you work obviously in the CBD, which is a business sector as well. Are things better here in the town area than they are in the township?
Yes. Very, very, because we don't have problem with water here. We don't have. Our water is always there. So I don't know about the problem. When are they going to solve this problem?
Well, that was a resident from here, the CBD, saying that the water problem here is bad, actually not as bad as it is in the township. But let's just speak to some residents here and also find out from them exactly how bad the issue of the water is. So let's just find out, ma'am, how bad is the issue of water here in Graaff-Reinet?
The what?
The water, how bad is it?
Oh, very bad, darling. You see, we are staying there in Selbo side, that side, which means we have now for our water, afterwards it's gone. We have a problem with the water, and municipality is charging us for water we don't use.
Then how do you cope on a day-to-day basis when your water is off for so many hours?
There's sometimes that a truck is coming out, but like I say, sometimes.
You have to stay out of water, or otherwise you have to go and buy some water. Yeah. You see, the big crisis here in the Karoo is because there was not a lot of rains. Yeah, so most of the time we are getting water out of the sewage.
Yes,
getting water out from the sewage. Yeah, that's the huge problem here.
It's bad here.
And do you find that here here in the CBD, the city centre, the water crisis isn't as bad as it is in the township. And what must be done to actually make sure that things are equal, that there's water in the township and also here water in the city centre?
The thing is, currently they are not treating us the same way, because in the location we have to run after trucks for water, but in town there's always water. So how do they say we are equal when we're not? Because I don't see anyone who's staying in town running after a truck. Sometimes we're only coming out at 6 o'clock. So how can you, when I go home, there is no water, so there's no truck, so I have to buy water.
And how expensive is it to buy water every single day for you?
It's not that expensive, but the thing is, I'm a single parent, I have kids, so I have a lot of expenses, I'm renting, and I have a lot of other expenses, so I can't always afford to buy water.
And especially for health reasons also, we need to do our washings. We who need to wear shirts like every day. The toilets, it's terrible in the townships. Really, especially the toilets.
We are praying for rain.
And then when the water comes out of the tap, how bad is the water when it eventually switches on again? Can you drink the water automatically, or first have to boil it to drink it?
You see by our side, I don't know about the other sides, but by our side there is a stink. It's a stink. You must let the water stand still for a while before you can drink it.
Yeah.
So that's our problem, and it's not from now when the crisis started. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's like 5-6 months ago. That's why I'm saying actually the problem comes from because there's no rains here. It's dry in the Karoo. That's one of the big reasons for it.
We understand the crisis.
Yeah,
but it's bad. It's bad. I think the government must come out for us, because they did start at schools. You see the boorgate, wat se goed se naam? Walls. Okay, you see that. They put it in schools, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, give to the givers.
It's not enough. Give of the givers also came, and they are also the persons that come and only standing at some points. They are not for us all. So that is also the problem.
Interesting views there coming from residents who work in the city centre, saying that in the city centre they don't have similar problems as they do in the township. In the townships, from as early as 6 a.m. there's no water. When a truck comes, they have to chase a truck for water. Saying that although the givers came and assisted them, it's still not enough. Saying that as much as there is the water in the city centre, they're also appealing to the municipality to make sure there's also water in the township as well, to make sure there's equality between people in the township and those in the city centre as well. But for now, let's go back to the studio.
All right, there you go. So getting the word from the people that are living this is their daily realities and how difficult it honestly is. So let's carry on talking to our guests that we have assembled. And we've added, of course, the mayor of the Beyers-Naudé municipality in here as well. We've also got a teacher from one of the local schools to talk to us about what it is like at the schools and for the kids as well. But let's begin with the mayor. Thank you for coming. We really do appreciate you being here. So there's a lot that's been said, and also in the insert, a lot of the outlying areas talking to the fact that they feel that, you know, they're being treated unfairly, that if you go into the town, they are being supplied with a lot of water, but when you go out into the informal settlements and into those different sectors, they are completely ignored. What is your response to that?
Thank you, Leanne. Thank you for coming. Leanne, the layout of the municipality, there's this argument is coming up in all the meetings where people are saying, why is it that the town always have water and then the upper areas doesn't have water? It is because of the topography of the municipality. What you found, those who are lying higher are always first affected when there's a shortage, and when the water comes back, they are also last going to receive because of the topography. And it's for that reason that when the shortage is high, we are having trucks, and the Department of Water Affairs is supporting us with 2 trucks. So we're trying to cover all corners, but we are now solely dependent on boreholes, which you also know which water we must pump up, and the reservoir must be filled for us to get the water. And our usage is sometimes, the demand is sometimes higher than what we get into the reservoir. So we're trying with the assistance of the Sarah Bartman District Municipality, which we want to thank, the Department of Water Affairs and the province have been really coming to the party and assisting us. We want to thank them.
Let's talk to the trucks. So 2 trucks at the moment that are being supplied from government. Do you think that's enough? Surely you need a few more than 2.
Definitely, and if this show can help us with more trucks, any Samaritanos out there who can get us trucks to assist us, we would like that. For now, we only got 5, 3 of our own and 2 from the department. But we will. Any assistance will assist us.
Because that's, we heard that in the insert, that a lot of the people say that the trucks sometimes arrive at 6 o'clock in the evening. So that's too late, and they can't get it. Some people are too, they can't go and carry all of this water, and the wheelbarrows that they're using to carry this water in, people are making money off of it, then they're paying people. It's turning into an absolute humanitarian crisis for a lot of people. So there is more assistance. I want to quiz you a little bit on these boreholes. How many boreholes have you managed to drill?
Mr. Barrington can say specifically how much we did now, but we must appreciate when we met with the Gift of the Givers last year in March, organized by the district municipality through the disaster center of the province. Is there where we heard that they have done a study 20 years ago, and they have identified some boreholes. So they came here and we had a meeting, and they come and point out some of the boreholes. If it wasn't for government support some years ago, we have also had some boreholes. The situation would have been worse. There would have been no water. But there were some boreholes whilst there were water in the dam, which we did not use, and now they have come into operation. But the end, the thing is, we can get all the money we have. We can have all the boreholes, but our community, we must use water sparingly. Because without rain, even the boreholes will get dry. So we need to up our game in the education and public education in terms of the usage of water. And I want to make use of this opportunity to really plead with our communities that we use the little bit we have sparingly, because we are trying our best. We have submitted another application for drought because government said we should submit more. We have only started now with spending the 30 million which was there, which was agreed upon and given to us. So we're trying, but we must say the demand, especially in summer, and it's going to get hotter, the demand is higher than what we can deliver now.
Okay, and we can appreciate that, because people are desperate for water. Water is it's life. Water equals life. These boreholes, I'm going to harp on the boreholes, so maybe we can give you the mic, because you seem to know more about that. How many boreholes have you drilled as a municipality?
Leanne, we've got 30 running at the moment, 24/7.
And you were?
We've drilled 8 deep boreholes.
Why am I hearing that there are only 2 that are working?
No, there's 30 running at the moment, and they're running on telemetry, so they run on specific times, so that we don't kill the aquifer. Okay. We can't just willy-nilly use the water. So these are scientifically developed boreholes, and they run on telemetry, and as soon as the water drops a little too low, the pump shut off, and when the water raises again, they come on. But just to give you an indication, this town in the summer months needs 14 megalitres of water. We are now supplying about 6 megalitres, so that's less than half of the amount of water that we require, and that's with 30 boreholes running.
What about maintenance? Because maintenance, I think, has been one of the biggest issues that has affected everyone. Over the years, these have been ignored.
It's an ongoing problem, maintenance. We've got 2 members of staff that are permanently just monitoring boreholes. As I said, they're monitored by telemetry. But even telemetry, the modern ideas break down ideas. So you've physically got to go out there and monitor them. And this way, I think, our local forum is assisting us a lot as well. We by the way, the one question was, what is the government doing for us? We local government, and we've spent 60 million in the last 5 years just developing the borehole well fields. Well, they've given us another 10 million now to develop more boreholes. So there's a lot of work going on here, but it's just not enough.
Can I pass the mic to the Gift of the Givers quickly? In terms of the boreholes, the conditions that the boreholes are in, there are reports doing the rounds saying that they have been drilled, but they are not working properly, and that out of all of them, only 2 are actually supplying. You've seen them, you're here in the area. What do you know about the boreholes?
Leanne, we came in here the 1st of October. That's when our hydrologists came in with the rigging team. We've drilled 8 boreholes at 8 schools in the locations. Of that 8 boreholes, all is functional.
Good.
The lab test came back last week. that the water is 100% drinkable. Yesterday we've put additional taps outside the school for the communities to come fetch water 24/7. Our drilling team is monitoring the rates of the boreholes. We are in the process of putting in extra pipes so that our water tankers come to Graaff-Reinet from Makanda. We have a borehole in Makanda that produces 1 million litres of water per day. That one borehole is literally supplying the whole of the Eastern Cape.
Wow.
That trucks go from there to Adelaide, Bedford, Queenstown and Graaff-Reinet as well. Those 2 trucks are here today as well to give out water again to the areas. But now with our balls functioning now, we're going to have 1 or 2 water tankers permanently in Graaff-Reinet, so it doesn't have to travel the distance, so it can move many times a day to the different locations.
The existing boreholes, sorry, I'm hopping because I want some clarity here. You say you're speaking about the 8 that you managed to do, but have you checked the existing boreholes here? That over the years, people haven't had water or turned on a tap and had water for 4 years in areas.
Our hydrologist, Dr. Ginny, will be the best person to ask. Unfortunately, he's not here today.
Okay.
He is working with the municipality, so I don't know from my side how many is functional from the municipality side, but I can say it's gift to the givers, our balls
Yours
100%
are fully functional and they're working in the areas. I know you want to add something.
No, I want to go beyond that,
please,
if I may.
Yeah.
We're very grateful to people like the gift of the givers, and we appreciate the pressure the municipality's been under to address the water crisis. Our vision was to go beyond this. We have financial backing from the private sector to look at supplying water needs for Graaff-Reinet for the next 30 to 50 years. We've appointed a team of specialists. We're working closely with the municipality in this new committee that's been formed and with the Department of Water Affairs to address these issues. We've had to change our planning in the light of the information that's now come to hand, that the crisis measures and the boreholes are inadequate to supply, and we're probably heading to a day zero, to coin a phrase. So we as the private sector will also be giving an input now on the short-term needs of the town. When this dam, in 1995, when Zola was mayor of Graaff-Reinet, an initiative by the then Minister of Water Affairs, Dr. Karoo and the private sector acquired the water rights to this dam from the farming community. And the vision was it would supply Graaff-Reinet's water together with the well fields for 30 years. What we didn't anticipate was an increase on demand and the impact of climate change. We have, for example, one of the things we're considering is to partially desalt the dam. It's lost 34% of capacity. We're looking at redesigning the spillway so that the wall is raised by 1 meter. That will increase the capacity of the dam by 40%, which translates to about 4 years of water for Graaff-Reinet. But we will also be looking at the well fields to see, because there are other aspects to this. You've got to look at the holistic picture. We're looking at grey water, for example, recycling water. We're going to have to look at the infrastructure, because our experience in the country is that there's a lot of water loss in the systems because they're antiquated and haven't been maintained. So we're coming with long-term solutions, but we're also going to have to partner. The people of this country must respond to President Ramaphosa's appeal and act in the spirit of Tumamina and join with local government to find the solutions. And this community has been united, and the joint efforts of the private sector and government is going to resolve these issues.
All right. I want to bring in the teacher. So I'm going to grab that microphone. We have a teacher from one of the schools, and I know that you're going to speak in Afrikaans, which is absolutely perfect. So tell us a little bit about the school, where you're based, and what it is like for you having such a dire problem with regard to water.
Ek is van Reineveld Primair en die waterkrisis is baie swak. Dit affect die skool. Baie kere moet die skool baie vroeg uitkom, want daar is oor 700 kinders by die skool. Die toilette kan nie gebruik word nie. Daar is die water om vir die kinders kos te maak nie. So die waterprobleem is baie ernstig, want dit affect die kinders se hele skooldag word omver gegooi vir die dae wanneer daar nie water is nie. En dan moet hulle nou vroeg huis toe gaan, en dit is eintlik 'n tyd van hulle lewe, skoolloopbaan wat gemors word. Daai tyd wat hulle moet, want is elke kind se reg om te leer, maar omdat daar nie water is, word daardie kinders se reg om te leer ontneem van hulle af. Maar ek wil ook iets sê, soos wat die meier gesê het, ons moet ook onze mense so educate, want niemand kan water maak nie. Daarom moet ons onze mense so educate, daar word dagelijks nog baie water gemors. En ons moet ook onze kinders dit op die hart lê om water te begin, om water te respecteer.
Yeah.
Want sonder water kan jy nie lewe nie. Soos jy gesê het, water is lewe. Maar dit is baie sleg vir die skole om so sonder water aan te gaan.
We can only imagine those conditions. I mean, even just going to the toilet as a learner, you can't. I mean, you can't even deal with it. Just on a final closing note, Mayor, that whole issue with the sewage spill here in this area, and I know you had the community also up in arms about the infrastructure and the upkeep and the sewage spill. Has that been sorted out in the area?
Yes, that is Graaff-Reinet is maybe one of the eldest towns. And the infrastructure was designed not to accommodate all the people in the past. Now you have a lot of newcomers into the system, and the upgrading of infrastructure have not kept track with that. But the municipality is dealing with it. Yes, we are faced with spillages, which is also caused because, for the flush, for the systems to push, you need water. And that is, it will cost us about 160 million rand to sort out the spillage issue in terms of the pumping to the sewage system. Yeah. But we have now appointed a service provider to come and look into this issue of the sewerage and so on.
All right, I'm sad to end this broadcast, I really am, but we've unfortunately run out of time. I thank every single one of you for being with us, and I know that the challenges are immense, but it does seem that the community, the government, everybody is coming together to help. But is it enough? We will keep an eye on this, and I think what you've heard here is a great education for going forward. When you switch on that tap and you leave it running and the shower forever and baths that are overflowing, this could be our future, South Africa. In fact, this is our future if we don't do something about it, and urgently. It is real. It is happening. We end this broadcast today, and I'll see you in studio tomorrow. Goodbye from all of us here in Graaff-Reinet.